What's going on, boys? I get the NFL $100 into over $1,400 four-man parlay for you guys for the divisional round games on Saturday. Of course, before we get into that, though, if you boys could please drop a like and subscribe, that'll help me out a ton. I put a lot of time and effort into these videos for you guys, and if you could just drop that like and subscribe, it takes you guys like 2 seconds. It would really help me out a lot. Obviously, this is our picks for the playoffs so far. These two right here and this one at the bottom are all of our YouTube plays, and then this is just some of the stuff we've been doing in VIP in the playoffs so far. Really, really great stuff. I'm absolutely stoked with it. I want to say everything on here puts us at 13-3, if I'm not mistaken. So really, really good stuff in the playoffs so far. Obviously, this Josh Jacobs one is great. It was red. I just screenshotted a little bit early before the game ended, but does not matter at all, honestly, because we are still 13-3, looking really, really good. I will say, though, I have a way that you guys can make $300. I can make everyone watching this video $300 in less than 10 minutes. It's so quick. Obviously, what I'm referring to is the deposit matches for Chalkboard, Parlay Play, and Sleeper. 100% deposit match up to $100 on all three of these apps when you guys sign up with code SBL. As I just said, if you guys sign up for all three of these apps, you guys can make $300 for completely free in less than 10 minutes. Honestly, it'll probably take you guys like 7 minutes. It's super quick, super easy. Again, completely free. You guys make $300. Absolutely love that. Of course, that's not the only thing you guys get from these apps, though. Over on Chalkboard, you guys get one exclusive free pick along with that deposit match, and you guys also get this. This is their promo page. 10 to 12 promos for every single sport, every single day for completely free. Obviously, that's slash lines, boosted payouts, all the stuff that makes betting super fun and easy. You guys get 10 to 12 promos every day, every sport. Absolutely love it. And then Parlay Play. You guys get a $5 free game at sign up. No deposit required for that at all. You guys get it no matter what you put into the app when you first sign up. So very easy way to get going there. And then this is how they do their payouts over on Parlay Play. I'll show you guys the difference between the Prizepicks payout and the Parlay Play payout. But anything over a 2-man, you guys get a percentage boost based off of that. So 3-man is 5% boost, 4-man 10% boost, and so on. It's very simple, very straightforward. You guys can see it right in front of you. But those payouts over on Parlay Play are better than any app you will possibly find. Really anywhere. I mean, the payouts are just absolutely ridiculous. Again, I'll show you guys the difference between Parlay Play and Prizepicks in just a second here, but last one is Sleeper. You guys get a free $20 entry over on Sleeper. No deposit required for this one either. So same exact deal as Parlay Play, but it's a $20 free entry instead of $5. Again, very good deal. Not to mention these two things. This Ant Play is for new users only. This is valid until the Timberwolves game tomorrow. So again, if you guys are going to sign up for Sleeper, do it very soon. And this is another reason why. This is a protected pick for $10 for the games tomorrow, or I should say the games all weekend. You guys can really use this for whatever games you want. NFL only, but this expires at midnight tonight, Pacific time, I should say. So Pacific time, midnight tonight, this is going away. So again, if you guys are going to download Sleeper and sign up with that code, you guys should absolutely do that tonight so you can get both of these. Make sure you lock in that play tonight too. It's going away after midnight. So really good stuff all around the board. Again, I will pop over to Parlay Play now and show you guys this payout difference. So this is going to pay 10x, I think, exactly on Prizepicks. Obviously, this is paying 14.21x on Parlay Play. That is $421 more than you'd be making over on Prizepicks. Obviously, I do recognize that not everyone's going to bet $100, but if you guys bet 20 bucks, you guys are still making an extra $84. That is a ridiculous amount. I promise you, I was not lying when I say the payouts over here are better than really any other app. And this is the exact same parlay we have in here as what we've got on Prizepicks that I'm about to get into right now. But that being said, we can actually hop over to Prizepicks and get into some of these plays. Obviously, I'm only going over Saturday's games, so obviously that is the Bills game, and that is the Niners game. So we're just going to jump straight into it. First pick's going to be Courtland Sutton. We're taking him over his receiving targets at 7. I absolutely love where this line's at. He averages about 7.6 on the season per game. So again, just really like where this is at. I do recognize the fact that Buffalo's rushing defense is absolutely horrible. I totally get that. However, I don't trust the inconsistency of this Denver run game. Obviously, they have not been doing very good on the ground since J.K. Dobbins got hurt. J.K. Dobbins was amazing the entire season. He got hurt. They've had R.J. Harvey and McLaughlin in the backfield since then, and the inconsistencies have just really been very evident. So it scares me a little bit how this run game is going to go. I do think they're going to run it decent amount to start with, but again, with how inconsistent that run game has been, I don't trust them to run the ball the entire game. I trust them to throw it a lot, and obviously, in a very, very important, their first playoff game of this year, I do see them throwing a lot, and I do see Bo Nix throwing to his guy, Courtland Sutton. So I think that 7 is really, really low, especially with how this has been. Obviously, that Chargers game bumps it down a little bit, but that was week 18. They did not need to play at all, so I think that 7's a perfect line for Courtland Sutton there. And then hopping into our Bills play, it's going to be Khalil Shakir. We're taking him over his, let's see, his, what was it again? Sorry. 5.5 receptions. Over 5.5 receptions for Shakir, which they actually just made that into a goblin. All right, well, they made it into a goblin. Really not worried about it anyways. We're just going to talk about it regardless. So they made this into a goblin. Obviously, this was already a really good play to begin with since they switched it to a goblin, but he played out of his mind last week against Jacksonville. Obviously, he had 12 targets for 12 catches, did not drop a single pass the entire game. Now, yes, that is against Jacksonville. Jacksonville is one of the worst teams in the league against wide receiver ones. I understand that. However, going into this Denver game, Denver is top 5 in the league for slot targets allowed. Obviously, Shakir plays a lot out of the slot, so he's set for a ton of targets this game, especially with all the injuries they've had on offense. Their entire offense is just beat up right now. He's really the only receiving threat they've got. That's not a tight end, I should say. And with how many screen passes they throw to him just in general, and especially last game with how many screen passes he was getting, just designed plays straight to him. I think that 6 receptions is going to be super easy. Again, this is a goblin now, which kind of sucks for us, but they should put a normal line up at some point. If they don't, Parlay Plays got you guys. I'll show you that at the end of the video. I promise you. Any other app is going to have this. Unfortunately, Prizepicks is just kind of screwing us right now. So that is a goblin. Unfortunate, but Khalil Shakir over 5.5 receptions. Really like it. Again, coming off a really good game, and he is playing a top 5 team that gives up slot targets. So I really, really like that. And then our third pick, moving into the Niners game now, is going to be Brock Purdy. We're taking him over 33.5 pass attempts. Yes, Brock Purdy doesn't throw the ball a whole lot, but just with how bad Christian McCaffrey and their run game has been these last 2 weeks, including their playoff game against Philly, I do see them throwing the ball a lot. Obviously, they did just play Seattle. He had 27 there, but that is more pass attempts in that game than Christian McCaffrey had rushing yards, if I'm not mistaken. McCaffrey did absolutely nothing on the ground against Seattle. He did nothing on the ground against Philly. The run game in the last 2 weeks has been dead in the water. So I do see them throwing the ball a lot. Obviously, season's going to be on the line for this one. Yes, that Seattle game in general was a really big game, but another thing I really, really like about this is week 1. If you guys remember all the way back to week 1, the Niners played the Seahawks at Seattle. Purdy threw 35 passes in that game. Obviously, this one right here that they just played was in San Francisco. They're back in Seattle for this one. Obviously, Seattle got that 1 seed. So they're back in Seattle. He, at the beginning of the season, threw 35 passes against the Seahawks at an away game. So now he's got another away game at Seahawks. I think he's going to throw a ton of passes in this one again. Season's on the line. This is a much, much tougher matchup than they had against the Eagles last week. And on top of that, that Eagles game last week was cold as hell. So I really, really like this 33.5 pass attempts for Brock Purdy. I think that one's just really easy for us. Works out in our favor very, very well. And then our last pick is going to be Kenneth Walker. We're taking him over 2.5 receiving targets. This one just seems very easy to me as well. The average is right around this number anyways, especially in the last, I want to say it was 8 games. He's hit this 6 times. These are the only 2 misses he's had in his last 8 games against Carolina and against the Colts. So 2 games. I should say that Colts game, their offense was pretty stalled the entire time. And then that Carolina game, it's the Panthers. Not that big of a deal there. But he did just hit this against the Niners. So I really, really like this one. Honestly, they passed to him a decent amount. Especially in the back half of the season, they were passing to him a lot. I think that 2 targets is not, or I should say 3 targets is not a lot to get to. There's always a ton of situations where Sam Darnold is going to get pressured and he's going to have to just toss it at someone's feet, and Kenneth Walker is the closest person to him. That happens all the time with every single team in the NFL, and that's why I love taking running backs receiving targets. I think this is just such an easy line for us to get to with those kinds of situations, with the little dump offs and stuff that are always going to happen for every team in every game. So 2.5 receiving targets for Kenneth Walker. Again, he just hit it against the Niners. So I really, really do like that play right there. These are 4 picks I've got for you guys. Again, kind of a bummer that Shakir got bumped down to a Goblin, but this is still exactly a 10x, so I guess it doesn't really affect the payout that much. So $100 is going to turn into 1,000 over here on Prizepicks. Again, Shakir being a Goblin messes with that a little bit, but either way, regardless of that, you guys are going to make more money over here on Parlay Play. $400 more dollars. Who doesn't love $400? I will say all these lines are virtually the exact same. Purdy, Kenneth, and Sutton are all the exact same lines. Khalil Shakir is at 6.5 over here, which again, you can switch that if I want to come over here and look at if my moved it to NBA, of course, bro. But whatever. We're going to pop over to Khalil Shakir. We're going to look at this. I just want to show you guys this really quickly. You can get him at 5.5. If you do that, it's going to bump it down quite a bit. That 2x right here is a huge shot in the arm for this, which is why I'm taking it. I don't, again, the situation he's in with how beat up that offense is, with how many targets Denver gives up to that slot position, with how many screen passes they're throwing to this guy, I think that 7 is going to be an easy number for him to get to in this game. Just again with how many short things they throw to him. So that's what I'm going with in this one. Obviously, the payout is so much better with that. And again, Parlay Play or Prizepicks just put 5.5 as a Goblin, so they obviously see something here. So again, really like this play. You guys are going to get so much more money on Parlay Play. I promise you guys, no other app is paying you like this. But with that being said, that's really all I got for you guys today. So I'm going to get out of here. I love you guys. I'll see you tomorrow.